One altcoin just quietly became the #1 EVM chain by weekly active wallets. We're talking about SEI Network, and right now, at this exact moment, we're sitting at a critical technical breakout that could send this thing absolutely parabolic. But here's the kicker. Binance just suspended all SEI deposits and withdrawals, and most retail investors have no idea what this actually means for the price action ahead. Stick around because what I'm about to show you could be the difference between catching a 3x move or watching it from the sidelines. Alright, crypto family, let's talk about what's happening with SEI right now because this situation is absolutely wild. First off, if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're about to dive deep into some serious alpha that could impact your portfolio significantly. So here's where we stand. SEI just completed what I call a textbook pullback. We saw a healthy correction that formed a beautiful higher low on the 30-minute chart. Now, for those of you who've been following my content, you know I love when we get these higher low formations because they signal that the bulls are still in complete control of the narrative. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is why timing is everything in crypto. We're not just dealing with technical analysis here. We've got three major catalysts converging at the exact same time. First catalyst, the technical setup is absolutely pristine. We're sitting right above crucial support at $0.295, with resistance at $0.3078, acting as our next major hurdle. Second catalyst, Binance just announced a temporary suspension of SEI Network deposits and withdrawals starting August 5th at 23 o'clock UTC. Now before you panic, this isn't bearish news. This is actually bullish, and I'll explain exactly why in just a moment. Third catalyst, the fundamentals behind SEI are absolutely explosive right now. We're talking about over 10 million new users added in just May and June alone, and July numbers are holding strong. This isn't some meme coin pump. This is legitimate adoption happening in real time. Now here's where most traders are getting this completely wrong, and it's creating a massive opportunity for those of us who understand what's actually happening behind the scenes. When Binance announces a suspension like this, inexperienced traders immediately think, sell the news. They panic, they dump their positions, and they miss the bigger picture entirely. But here's what they're not seeing. This suspension isn't random. It's directly tied to a major network upgrade that's about to transform SEI's infrastructure. Think of it like this. When Apple shuts down the App Store temporarily to roll out iOS updates, do iPhone sales crash? Of course not. The temporary inconvenience is necessary for long-term improvements. But here's the part that's keeping me up at night, and why I had to make this video urgently. The technical setup is converging with this fundamental catalyst in a way that could create the perfect storm for explosive upside movement. Look at this chart with me. We've got SEI sitting right in our entry zone between $0.299 and $0.303. Volume is supporting further upside action, which tells me institutional money is quietly accumulating while retail is distracted by the suspension news. And here's the million-dollar question that everyone should be asking. If SEI is already the #1 EVM chain by weekly active wallets, beating out Base and opBNB according to DappRadar, what happens when this network upgrade makes it even faster and more efficient? The answer to that question could determine whether you're buying SEI at 30 cents or chasing it at 60 cents in a few weeks. But wait, there's something else happening that most people are completely missing. The user growth metrics are absolutely insane. We're not talking about bot activity or wash trading here. We're talking about real, verified wallet activity from actual users building real applications on the SEI ecosystem. Over 10 million new users in 2 months. That's the kind of adoption rate that turns small-cap altcoins into top 10 cryptocurrencies. Alright, let's get into the technical analysis and trade setup because this is where the rubber meets the road. SEI has formed a beautiful higher-low structure on the 30-minute chart, which is textbook bullish continuation pattern. We're holding strong above our key support zone at $0.295, and buyers are clearly stepping in at these levels. The critical level we're watching is $0.305. A decisive push above this level confirms our bullish continuation thesis and opens the door to our upside targets. Here's my exact trade setup. Entry zone, $0.299. $0.303. This gives us a nice range to scale into our position without chasing the breakout. Stop loss, $0.2915. This keeps our risk tight while giving the trade room to breathe. we're risking roughly 3 to 4% to potentially make 8 to 12% on our first target. Target progression 1 is $0.309. This represents our first resistance level and a quick 3% gain. Target progression 2 is $0.317. Here we're looking at roughly 6 to 8% upside potential. Target progression 3 is $0.326. This is our moonshot target representing 10% plus gains. Risk management strategy. I'm personally taking profits at each level and moving my stop loss to break even after TP1 is hit. This locks in profits while letting the rest of the position ride the momentum. Pro trading. Tip: don't just market buy this setup. Wait for either a bullish engulfing candle on the 15-minute chart or a clean breakout above $0.305 with volume confirmation. Patience pays in crypto trading. Why this setup has such high probability. First, the network upgrade catalyst removes selling pressure temporarily while building anticipation for improved functionality. Second, the user adoption metrics provide fundamental support for higher valuations. When you have 10+ million active users and you're the top EVM chain by wallet activity, you're not dealing with speculative hype. You're dealing with real utility and demand. Third, the technical structure shows institutional accumulation patterns. Smart money doesn't wait for retail FOMO. They accumulate during temporary uncertainty like this Binance suspension period. Market context. We're also seeing broader crypto market strength with Bitcoin holding key support levels and altcoin season sentiment building. SEI is positioned perfectly to benefit from both sector rotation into high-utility Layer 1 alternatives and its own fundamental growth trajectory. The confluence of technical setup, fundamental growth, and temporary supply restriction from the Binance suspension creates what I call a triple catalyst convergence. These are the setups that generate the biggest moves in crypto markets. Look, I've been analyzing crypto markets for years, and setups like this don't come around every day. We've got technical confluence, fundamental strength, and a temporary catalyst that's creating the perfect storm for explosive upside potential. But remember, and this is crucial, this market can be volatile and unpredictable. Never risk more than you can afford to lose, and always do your own research before making any trading decisions. If you found this analysis valuable, absolutely smash that like button. It helps the algorithm show this content to more traders who need to see it. Subscribe if you haven't already because I'm constantly analyzing these high probability setups and sharing them with this community first. Drop a comment below and let me know, are you planning to trade this SEI setup? What's your take on the network upgrade catalyst? I read every single comment and love engaging with you all about these market opportunities. And if you want to take your crypto trading to the next level, check out the description below for links to the tools and resources I personally use for technical analysis and market research. The SEI opportunity is happening right now, while most traders are focused elsewhere. The question is, will you be positioned when this thing breaks out, or will you be chasing it after the move is already over? That's it for today's analysis. Stay safe out there, manage your risk, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll be covering. Peace out, crypto family. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Cryptocurrency trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors.